That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome, welcome. We are here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. How are you?
I brought back an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah?
It's my goat whore hoodie.
I don't think I've seen you wear that in a very long time.
I don't think I've ever actually worn it since we've been together.
I know that I've seen it, so
sleeves are
dare I
pretty
say that I've seen you wear it at
tattered
least
and
once.
destroyed, and there's cigarette burns in the pockets, and
Like you do.
I bought this when I saw them at Popeye's Pub way back in the day.
Ew.
For those who Popeye's
Did you fall through the floor?
all the time.
They put plywood over it, so, everyone
This
was...
crazy Louisiana death metal band brought their entire touring rig into a place that could barely, no bigger than the size of where we're recording.
Yeah.
Almost literally.
It's pretty. That's pretty bad.
Patio
is nice.
I used to be very attached to this. This used to be my favorite hoodie.
It can be again. No?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I don't want the sleeves to fall apart any further than they already have, but
Yeah. I have a tie-dye hoodie from the company I used to work for that, every time you breathe on it too hard, it starts to unravel just a little bit more. To the point where, I don't want to wear it because I don't want to wash it.
There's a lot of hoodies in the closet that, I don't wear as much as I used to, but I don't have it in me to get rid of them or do anything with them because hoodies have a tendency to disappear on me. So I'm very attached to the ones that I still have. Just like my T-shirts that I never wear, but
Fair.
Whatever.
Fair enough.
But you know what I do wear on a regular basis?
What?
No, I don't wear the rules,
I
but
was
we
gonna say,
will get to them.
Do you?
It's my segue for the week.
But we have rules here, 3 rules for the sake of civility here in the bubble. No judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick. Please do not be a dick in South Central.
That's my line.
What do you want to talk about?
I should really watch that movie.
We can watch that movie.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Mm.
What do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
Yeah.
Well, once again, there was, a midweek topic that kind of fell by the wayside. We discussed, at dinner on Friday night, and then now it's just I was thinking about different topics today while I was at work.
Yeah.
More so that pertain to us, mainly you. Yeah, you, my wife. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh man, I immediately now I remember how we were going to tie them together. Growing up, you watched some TV here and there, right?
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. When you were watching TV, were you usually the one who got to pick?
No. What? What the hell are you talking about? No, I was lucky. I was very lucky as a kid, okay? Because for the most part, the things I wanted to watch were the things that my parents watched.
Okay.
Like Nick at Night kind of stuff and everything, and Lifetime and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, I want to watch this stuff. There were, Saturday nights and stuff where it was Snick is on. So obviously we're going to watch that.
Now, was there any TV in the house that at any point you could just go and have to yourself?
So when I was 13 was when when I was 12 or 13 was when my sister moved down to the basement. And because she moved down to the basement, she got her own TV with cable. And so I moved into her old room, so I got my own TV with cable. So now all bedrooms had their own TVs plus the TV in the living room. So at that point, if we didn't want to watch what was on in the living room, then we would go watch TV in our own rooms. But before that, growing up, if the family was watching, if my parents were watching a baseball game or something else in the living room, I could ask my mom, can I go watch TV in your room? And she would usually say yes. No, that was the only time. And it was only with permission. I couldn't just go watch TV whenever I wanted to.
All right. Bear with me because I am going to establish a pattern here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when I was a kid, the TV in the family room, that was almost exclusively Dad's.
Yeah.
Because that's where his chair was.
Right.
And that's where he varying chairs throughout the years, but that's where the chair was, and that is where that man spent a good 95 to 99% of his
Did he sleep
time
there?
Yes.
Yeah.
He slept. My dad did not sleep in a bed for the last at least 20 to 25 years of his life.
Yeah.
No, longer than that.
I was gonna say.
My dad is
you're
not
38.
My dad has not slept in a bed since the 90s. I remember him sleeping in a bed.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember him sleeping in the marital bed when I was a little kid, but because he could not lay down flat. This has nothing to do with the story, but he could not lay down flat without like choking, so he had to start sleeping in a recliner. And like anytime he was in the hospital, like they'd lay him down flat to do like whatever,
Right.
and he would start panicking. He would start having like a full-blown panic attack. He's like, "No, you gotta sit me up. You gotta sit me up." And I would have to yell at the fucking nurses.
Probably
and
sleep apnea from obesity and shit.
Okay, but the family room TV was his TV. If he
Okay.
came into the room, doesn't matter what you were watching, doesn't matter how much was left, doesn't matter what time something you wanted to watch came on.
Yeah.
If you wanted to watch something, you got the fuck out. You know, very, very rarely would he give it up.
Yeah.
Like maybe if there was just nothing he wanted to watch or nothing good on or whatever.
Where else were your TVs?
We had my parents' like old TV in the other downstairs room that stopped working a long time ago. It's the one where you had to like push in and out the white and red
I love
pins and the dial and shit.
Yeah.
Like it was the Zenith like console TV that had like
Right.
the turntable.
Right,
and-
right, right.
Oh, man, it sucked watching that thing go to the dump. Because I used to play with it as a kid.
Yeah.
I used to like try and get like signals and shit. You know,
Yeah,
is anybody out there?
My grandmother's TV was like that. It was a big console, and then when that died, they just got her a new TV that she put on top of it.
See, this thing wasn't dead. You could still get like Channel 2 on it.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, it was fun to just kind of like twist knobs and push
Yeah.
buttons. My mother had like a little like lunchbox TV in her room, which again only got like 1 or 2 channels. Mike eventually had his own TV. John eventually had his own TV. I used to have to fight John for the TV. And then when I was like 8 or 9, I think, when Mark was at college and I got my room back, I got like a box TV with a VCR,
With the VCR
built
inside,
in.
yeah.
But the reason I bring this up is because TV was kind of my babysitter.
Okay.
Like, mom worked at home, dad, excuse you.
Beg your pardon. Ghosts.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Mom worked at home, dad always went to work, and if it was either summertime or I was home from school, like I'm usually in the family room watching the downstairs TV until
Yeah.
I'm kicked out of the room, because 90% of the time I didn't want to watch what he was watching, which made way for my TV. But because I had older brothers, had their own friends, their own lives, always away at college or whatever it was, and if I wasn't allowed to go out or my friends were busy or whatever, TV was the babysitter.
Yeah.
It was. It kept me out of trouble and occupied and kept my attention and my focus.
I don't think TV babysat us, but we watched it. Like, we watched it as a family, and then we watched it, like, after school and stuff like that. Like, whether we went home after school or whether we went to a friend's house after school, or I went to my grandma's house after school because no one else was home. It's like, we watched TV. Like, we watched TV, and then we did homework, and then we watched TV as a family. It's like, it's what we did.
We very seldom watch TV as a family. Like, I remember, like, if I walked into the room and mom and dad were watching something together, I'd pop in and get lost in something, if it was interesting. Together we may watch, I don't know, The Ball Drop or,
Yeah.
something that like we all,
If you were all awake for it.
yeah. Or if we were watching like a home movie or something like that, or something that like we all enjoyed, but again, it was very seldom.
Yeah.
Or when I remember being really little, Friday nights when my parents would go out and it'd be the 4 of us, we would watch all the stuff that we weren't allowed to watch when they were home, like, MTV.
Yeah.
But as I got older and had more and more independence, I was glued to the TV. I was glued to all the tapes that we had in the house and all the cable channels that we could, because dad had to have cable. He
Yeah.
had to have your basic channels. He had to have all the movie channels. He had to have all those options.
Oh, see, we never had the movie channels.
He had to
We
have-
get like a free weekend every now and then.
He needed to have Turner. He needed to have HBO and Showtime. He needed to have the Outdoor Channel. He needed to have, everything.
Yeah.
Everything available, because that was his pastime, was just sitting around watching television.
I remember, I think the first big cable expansion that we got was like up to like channel like 79, I think. Because I remember the Game Show Network was on channel 77, 75 or 7, no, 77, I think. And that was pretty cool. But like we watched Jeopardy, we watched Wheel of Fortune. We watched like primetime stuff like The Simpsons and TGIF and everything like that. Like we watched all that stuff together. Like, and if my mom wanted to watch a baseball game and the family was doing family TV, then she would go watch the baseball game in her room. So it's like we really did watch quite a bit of TV together. Like I remember on Sundays, we always, like Sunday mornings we cleaned the house, we did our chores, and then we would, like sit in front of the TV. Sometimes my mom would watch bowling. And I would peel little Baby Bell cheeses for her to snack on because I thought that was fun. But like I would be like, can we watch Sleeping Beauty, or can we watch The Little Mermaid or something like that?
Oh, that's right. You grew up in a girl's house.
Yeah. But like, we would pick like a VHS tape, or sometimes my parents would want to watch something like Jurassic Park or My Cousin Vinny, and it would be like, go play in your room for a little bit. And I would sneak down to the edge of the hallway and I would peer around the corner, just like see what I could see.
That's how I caught my dad watching porn. It's true.
But I don't think TV babysat me.
See,
I had my imagination.
This isn't even just my firm belief. This has got to be a fact. The reason that I quote everything so frequently is because of how much TV I watched growing up. Like, they used to make jokes about it when I was in, like, first and second grade. They're just like, how much TV do you watch? Like, how do you know all of these references? Like, why are you always quoting movies and TV? Like, because that's what I do. Like, if it is not possible for me to go out and ride my bike or go somewhere and go to a friend's house and play games or whatever, like, I'm in front of the television, because what else am I going to do? Read?
I read, but I watched TV too.
I didn't like to read.
Like midday during the weekends, if I wasn't like in my room playing, I was probably reading something.
See, I didn't have the patience for that. I needed stimulation. I needed either visual and or audio stimulation.
I thought it was really cool. I thought it was impressive to have books like sit like on a shelf. Like, look at all of the books I have. And I figure if I had them, I may as well read them. Because it's just like, well, what are you going to do? Although I did have the entire, thanks to the Scholastic Book Fair, I, over time, gradually collected the entire series of Boxcar Children books.
Oh, I remember those.
I never read a single one of them. Not a one. But I wanted all of them.
See, I used to buy books and just let them sit on my bookshelf. I'm like, I have that now. It's like, maybe I should read that.
Every single one.
I can't believe I'm actually reading something now. But anyway, my whole thing was that I became like the encyclopedia of...
Encyclopedia?
Yeah, of television quoted, what? Are we being spied on? We are being spied on.
Hi. Just be careful.
How did she get past?
She's not good at the stairs, but she's been doing them.
Our executive producer over here.
Yeah.
Come be on camera.
She's like, stop recording and pay attention to me.
But yeah, I was like this just never-ending, collection, this wealth of knowledge when it came to movie quotes and gags and lines and
Same.
That's why we get along so well. Because like I said, my brothers they had all their own lives. My mother was always working. My mother was always working. When you work at home, you make your own schedule. I mean, she was always either on the phone with somebody or always had somebody in the house. Dad was, he worked until whatever time and then he was home. And because he worked all day, it's like, I want my dinner and I want my chair and I want my TV.
I understand that.
So, and then again, when I needed my independence, I'm off to my room where I can shut the door, lock it, TV, computer, music, radio, like whatever.
So you had a lock on your door.
I put a lock on my door.
Oh, okay.
Which didn't stop anybody from busting it open. Yeah. But okay, so we've been at this now for almost 15 minutes.
Is this going somewhere?
It sure is, because look at us now.
Look at us now.
You
Me.
didn't, as you just stated, didn't get to watch a lot of TV or choose a lot of TV in your youth.
But that's just it. I watched a lot of TV.
You didn't.
I didn't necessarily get to be like,
Get to be the deciding factor.
No, I never had control of the remote.
But comparatively to now, you certainly watch a lot more TV now than you did then. Yes or no?
I have the TV on more than I did then.
Okay.
Because whereas back then I would do something for the sake of doing something, now I'll do something, but I'll have the TV on.
But as far as putting TV on now to enjoy it, to put on something that you want to immerse yourself in.
To sit there and watch it?
To sit there and watch. More now than then, or about the same?
No, more now.
More now?
Yeah.
Now, contrast that with me.
Yeah.
I had TV on all the time in my youth. How much TV do you actually see me paying attention to now?
Well, you've told me that the reason why you don't like to watch TV as an adult is because it's all your family did when you were growing up. That you watched people just sit around and watch TV. You didn't actually tell me that you watched a lot of TV when you were a kid.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
How else would I be? I be so full of?
You told me that it was everybody else who watched TV.
You just love knocking me down some pegs as we start recording.
I'm just keeping you honest.
I am honest. I'm telling the truth.
I know.
You're just busting my balls because you love to.
So.
Summer balls.
So what are you saying? Are you saying something about that sort of personality?
Well, a couple episodes ago, we were talking about how it wasn't until my grandfather passed that my mother started shopping on QVC.
Okay.
And it wasn't until my mother passed that, say, I started getting into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mm-hmm.
And in that same vein, if you really think about it, we generally tend to do these 180s as life progresses. I spent a lot of time in front of the TV in my youth. Now I really don't want to watch very much of it. I mean, I do watch TV, fall asleep to it or put something on when I really want to see something. But other than that, I'm buried in my phone playing games or browsing for stuff to buy.
But you watch YouTube a lot. But you do not equate that with watching TV. I would.
So, I can see where you can make the argument, but back then, I was watching stuff to be entertained by. I was watching acting, movies, television shows, scripted things.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching a lot of what we would consider reality television because that didn't appeal to me. I didn't watch reality shows. I didn't watch... I can't say I didn't watch cooking shows. I watched a little bit of Food Network in 1998.
Yeah.
But I certainly didn't watch Jersey Shore. I didn't watch fucking Real Housewives.
Neither did I.
I didn't watch...
Not until I was much older.
I didn't watch Drag Race.
Okay, you were not a child when that came out.
I'm just saying, anything reality-based, I was not into. It's like, okay, where's the story?
What about game shows?
Okay, yeah, there was that. But, where's the comedy? Where's the drama? Where is the entertainment? Where's the shock and awe value?
Then you weren't watching the right reality TV. It was all shock and awe. That was the point. I'll have to show you The Swan one day.
But now, yes, I do watch a lot of YouTube because I am way more interested in the reality-based now than anything fictitious that the internet or Hollywood is coming out with, because it's either all we've talked about this before: continuations, sequels, prequels, reboots, remakes, same story told over and over and over again. It's just why bother?
Well, you see me with the TV on, and you have to admit I don't watch much new TV. I watch the same old shows over and over again for comfort reasons and for my attention. As an adult, I have realized that by putting on a TV show that I know backwards and forwards, my brain focuses like it's nobody's business. If I if I'm putting on something that I feel compelled to pay attention to, something new, something fresh, something riveting even, I cannot focus on doing other tasks. Like, you've seen those, those silly videos and TikToks and stuff of like, oh, I'll just put this on to, have in the background, and they're just staring at it, And it's like, that would be me if I put certain shows on. Now, there are shows that like I want to watch. British Bake Off is one of them. And that's one of those like everyone needs to be shut up for the next hour.
Shut up.
Like glum, shut up. I will pay attention to that, and I will get annoyed if people try and interrupt me while I am paying attention to this. I watched the last season of Euphoria. And roll your eyes all you want. I don't care. But I wanted to pay attention to what was going on. So I would watch it at very specific times. I wouldn't put it on like while I was working or doing chores or cleaning or anything like that. So, but like if I'm working for the day, I'll put something on that I either love or that I have already seen a dozen times, because it actually zones my attention onto what I'm doing, because I'm not paying attention to anything else. It's the same reason why I fall asleep with headphones on and I put on a show on my phone that I've seen a billion times, because I don't have to be paying attention to what it is and my brain zones out. But I'm also not listening to any extraneous noises.
Like Bob Ross.
See, but you put Bob Ross on, and I'm going to want to sit there and just watch it because I don't have it all in my memory.
I've put on Bob Ross before just to watch, and you haven't really paid any attention to it.
You got to want to.
You got to want that happy little bush.
If I'm supposed to fall asleep to something like that, I can't fall asleep to something I've never seen before.
I mean, that was something that I did, regularly. I would put on that same episode to fall asleep to night after night after night because I knew that it would get me to sleep.
Right.
It's kind of nice now being able to fall asleep and not have to take medication for it.
Sure.
But now, in the same vein, non-TV. First off, welcome with what you were just describing. Welcome to your husband 30 years ago.
What?
Having to laser focus on something, paying attention to something that's riveting that you want to be into. Yeah, that was me. That was me. Oh yeah, you couldn't pull me away from it if it was something I actually wanted to watch.
Well, yeah, understandable.
So now, just a little while ago, when we were getting ready to before I was getting ready to record, you were telling me the story about the Blue Box.
Well, it wasn't really a story. It wasn't a story. Yeah. What about it?
Well, you told me that in your youth, Blue Box was a luxury.
Oh, it was. Oh, it was. My grandmother would buy it every once in a while, but for as much mac and cheese as I consumed as a youth, and I say a youth, not a child, because it continued well into middle and high school.
What's a ute?
Shh. My sister and I actually joked about this the other day. Was that
2 utes?
That Kraft mac and cheese, not just boxed mac and cheese or mac and cheese in general.
Kraft
mac and cheese. Okay, it was expensive.
Really?
For a box of mac and cheese? Yeah, it was expensive.
How much was expensive back then?
I don't know, over $1.
Well, I mean, we just paid $1.49 yesterday.
No, we paid $1 yesterday.
No, the store brand was $1.
No, it came up on the scanner as $1.
Even better.
But we went to Costco and
That's highway robbery.
And we bought Leonardo's, and we bought it by the fucking case. Because again,
yeah,
I ate it all the time.
Well, and yeah, you still can buy it by the case.
So my mom was like, well, we're going to buy Costco brand. We're going to buy, El Cheapo, and you're going to, you're going to eat this. And it's like, okay, fine. That's absolutely fine. But like, yeah, Kraft was a luxury. So like every once in a while I would be permitted to get like the fancy shapes and stuff. But I mean that's barely a single serving of food for somebody. Oh yeah, because since the pasta is so big, there's not a lot in the box. Because the box is the same size, regardless of the fact that the pasta is bigger. So when you make a box of that, it is essentially one serving.
I mean, I remember there being times where I made a box for myself, and upon finishing the box, I was like, man, am I full.
Well, you're not supposed to eat the whole box,
right?
Is the thing.
Yeah.
Try and stop me. But I haven't had Kraft mac and cheese in
a while, yeah.
3 years.
No, it can't be that long.
Yes. Because when I was getting sick at the end of 2022, you, my husband, looked at me and you said, well, maybe you should stop eating crap like that.
Well, yeah.
And I started to associate it with that. So I was like, so I haven't had Kraft mac and cheese. I haven't had pizza rolls. Like, I haven't had any of that stuff, regardless of the fact that it turns out that none of that stuff was actually making me sick.
Well, because for a good long while after we got together, we were getting that stuff regularly. We were getting the case of the Kraft. We were getting bags of pizza rolls, you know?
Yeah.
And I wasn't necessarily attributing it to you getting sick, but, you know, it's not like that stuff's good for you anyway.
Most of the stuff that we buy is not great for us.
That's not true.
Not anymore. We've been pretty good.
Yeah.
But like, you know, but yes, it was a luxury.
But in you know, the theme of this episode, you know, that was something that you rarely did as a kid, and look at you now. Like, you have the option to go out and buy a case of Kraft blue macaroni and cheese.
But I don't. Because I'm better than that.
But we did.
I bought a box.
So
not a case, a single
I'm
box.
talking about 4 years ago.
4 years ago, we used to get the 4-pack, yeah.
5-pack.
Oh, excuse me, 5-pack.
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 Sometimes a 10-pack.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, you love that stuff. Did you ever put hot dog in it?
Ew. No.
I don't know. Isn't that what everybody did when we were kids?
Yeah, poor kids.
Hey.
Sorry, but it's true. My favorite meal was mac and cheese with cut up hot dogs. And I'm just like, that to me just screams like kind of like poor kid.
Listen, sometimes on a sick day, that was nice.
I prefer SpaghettiOs.
I still have the bowl that I used to eat it in, and we weren't poor.
No, you weren't.
This was a good talk.
No, it's not over. I want this to go somewhere. Where is it going?
It's going in the same direction as, you know, again, you do things at one point in your life, and then as life progresses, it's like you do a 180. Do you agree or do you disagree?
I disagree.
Why?
I disagree.
After all the examples that I just provided you with.
Because I don't see the 180. I don't see the 180. I don't see, in reference to the things that we've just mentioned, okay?
Civil discourse. Good night.
I see not an inevitable change of mind or anything like that. I see an adult given the opportunity now to create their own destiny. And if you want TV to be a part of that, now you have ample opportunity. You don't fight anybody for that because you are master of your own destiny in that situation. I, as an adult, can buy Kraft mac and cheese whenever the fuck I want.
I will say it is very nice that we don't fight over the TV or macaroni and cheese for that matter.
No, we don't.
Oh, I've fought many people over the television.
We fight over the television.
No, we don't. We never fight over the television.
We're
throwing the remote back and forth at each other, like, you pick something.
No, I feel like one of us picks something, and then at the next available opportunity, the other one just snatches the remote.
Listen, I always ask you before if I can change it, because 90% of the time, you're the one picking. You are, and
because that 90% of the time you couldn't give a rat's ass about the TV.
You're welcome.
But that's not giving me something.
Yes, it is.
No, that is not a concession. It's not a concession to be like, you can have this because I don't want it.
How is that not a concession?
A concession would be you would prefer something else, but you're going to let me do it.
That's a compromise, not a concession.
What's a compromise?
What you just
No,
described.
that's a concession. If I would rather watch movie A and you would rather watch movie B, but I say you put movie B on, that's me conceding my movie to you.
I could it's
Our
six
movie
in one, half a dozen in the other. I could always find something to put on, but I give you free reign to pick at pretty much all times of the evening, unless there's something I really want to watch.
Yes, and if there's something you really want to watch, you do say, "Can I change this?" And do I say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
No, you're welcome.
No, you're welcome. We'll be right back.
But like, you, again, we've talked about this. You as an adult do not really gravitate towards putting the TV on.
Because I spent a good chunk of my life doing that.
But is it a conscious thing that you're doing?
Yes.
So it's not that you did a 180, it's that you as an adult have made the decision to do something else with your time.
Yes.
But do you see, if it is this 180 that you've sort of, you flipped over at some point, you've toppled your upside down at some point in your life, what else does that correspond to other than TV? Do you have other examples in your personal life?
Sure.
What?
My whole youth consisted of television, video games, bike riding, skateboarding, card games.
And you don't do any of that stuff?
Well, I would say I don't do any of that stuff. I do some of that stuff in smaller doses, but,
But what have you replaced it with?
nothing. You. I've replaced it all with you. Dogs. I didn't have dogs growing up. I didn't have cats growing up. I didn't have half the chores growing up that I have now.
I had a lot more chores growing up than I have now.
I certainly wasn't wiping down the toilets 30 years ago. Maybe I should have. Would have taught me a good work ethic.
I was going to say, I'm like, somebody was.
No, my chores... What? Yeah, my chores back then were get the mail, take down the recycling, bring up the recycling. What else? Take out the garbage, bring in the shopping, shovel the path.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were yours?
Weekly, it was
Mow the lawn.
The dishes and the vacuuming. That was me.
I never did the dishes.
I did the dishes and I did the vacuuming. That's how I earned my allowance. And then, come winter, I was in charge of shoveling the steps. I would help. As a kid, I helped my dad rake the leaves.
I did something that you probably have never done and probably will never do.
I can pee standing up all I want.
What does that have to do with it?
Try again.
I used to have to rub my dad's legs. That
Yeah.
man at one point was so large that he could not reach his feet.
Yeah.
And because of his condition or whatever, he'd be like, ugh, rub my legs. It was fucking gross.
My mother would knock on the wall between our bedrooms. Our headboards were on the opposite sides of the same wall. And she would knock on the wall behind her to summon me into her bedroom to request that I either go get her something to drink or eat. The kitchen was just at the other end of the hall. And if not that, or in addition to that, she would have me grab the lotion off of her dresser and squirt it into her hand. The woman would summon me from my chambers to put lotion in her hand that was already in the room with her. And if she placed a drink order with me, she was very specific about it. Can you go to the kitchen and get me ginger ale with 2 ice cubes in a Tupperware cup with a straw, specifically? And I would go and I would get it for her And I would bring it back, and I would put it on her nightstand, and she would say, before you go, can you take this hand and put some lotion in it?
You've been around, you were around my dad. You saw how nasty looking his shins were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine having to massage those.
Yeah.
As a child, put his shoes on, put his socks on, take his shoes off, take his socks off.
It reminded me a lot of watching my grandmother put Vaseline on her legs. And I'm just like, I remember watching that as a kid and being like, what the fuck?
I was like, can I just set these on fire? Just be done with it. Oh, man.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know that I've, like, I can't see anything in my personality as a child where I was like, now that I'm an adult, like, that's all over. Like, I've just sort of evolved all of the same habits that I had. Like, I used to
just changed a little bit.
used to talk to my stuffed animals constantly. Now I have pets. I talk to them.
Alive and dead.
Alive and dead, and I talk to all of them. I have
plants and flowers, living
yeah.
organisms.
Yeah, they're all living organisms.
Respond to touch and say.
You know, I mean, as far as the TV goes, like, you know, I feel like it probably babysits me now more than it did when I was a kid.
Quoting movies.
Yeah, but it's the same movies.
Well, it's the ones we,
it's our
bond
love
over.
language.
Yeah, that's right. Ugh.
But yeah, I don't think people do that. I don't think they flip their switch like that.
I don't know. I'd like to think that I flipped a few switches to some degree because, again, like, we were talking at one point, and I'm starting to digitize old movies and watching myself as a kid in real time, and it's just like, it's so cringeworthy because I was such an asshole.
Do you think that has anything to do with certain habits you were afforded when you were a kid? Like you have said to me that you think you were spoiled.
I was absolutely spoiled. There's no question about it.
Do you think that contributed to your being an asshole then and being less of an asshole now?
Absolutely, because watching those movies is a very sobering experience.
Yeah.
It is it is almost sickeningly sobering.
Yeah.
Over how much of an obnoxious, arrogant, greedy, selfish, self-absorbed little brat I was.
Now, not for nothing, and not to call anybody out, but honestly, watching the clips that I watched from your home movies, you guys were all kind of assholes.
Well,
it wasn't just you.
Thanks for coming to my defense.
Like, it was not you. Like, you were all kind of like little dicks
Pompous?
To each other. Yeah, you were all sort of like,
That's what happens when you grow up in a house of four boys.
Everybody can't stand the other one's voice after a while. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, you watched our home movies. Amanda and I are hilarious.
I wasn't expecting the answer that your sister gave when you were just like...
I said we were adorable, and she said you were a menace. was what she said to me. I'm like, I beg your pardon.
Well, I mean, you and I have never been older siblings, so we wouldn't know, what that's like.
No, true.
But at the same time, your sister and my brothers have never been the youngest sibling.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say younger, because two of my brothers were younger siblings, but they've never been the youngest.
I mean, my mother has said, and she says it like this every time she says it, is that she and my dad did not, quote unquote, make the same mistakes with me that they made with my sister. Okay? I did not sleep in their room. They did not coddle me. They didn't rock me or walk with me. If I cried as a baby, they let me cry it out. They closed the door if I was making noise. They left me to myself. Like, they didn't coddle me. They didn't attach parent me.
Me neither.
And, and it made me, I think that contributed to me becoming independent at an early age. And that's the only thing that I think I saw as I got older, because I sort of reframed it, because I saw it for a while as neglectful, but in framing it that way, it made me seek out dependent relationships. And I don't like that. I never liked that. I don't like the idea of
seeking relationships of people you were dependent on.
Yes. And it got me into some hot water sometimes. And it got me in situations that I'm glad I'm not in anymore. And, you know, and I think the reframe on that was that as an adult, I can look at that experience as a child and be like, well, I was sort of left to my own devices, but it allowed me to develop a sense of self-sufficiency. And that's sort of what I've always striven for as an adult. You know, a sense of self-sufficiency to me is like the ultimate, that's like the penultimate for me. I don't want to be looked at as a burden or a mooch or anything like that. Like it's really important to me to have a sense of, and especially since I'm this close to being handicapped at this point, that it's like I like the idea of being able to do things for myself. And I think I was afforded that opportunity. And maybe, just maybe, that's my foot. You playing footsies. Maybe just maybe, to a degree, I have flipped that switch. But it's gone from I rely on myself to I have myself. And in having myself, I maybe take some liberties here and there. I can admit it. Maybe I take some liberties here and there with some of the things that maybe I perceive you don't care so much about, like the TV. So, you know, I maybe I take command a little bit more without asking. I can admit that. But I would never do that with something that I know that you care about.
We have multiple TVs and we have phones and tablets and laptops in this house. Like, trust me, if you're watching the TV of the room that we're in, like, if I want to do something, I'll do something.
I know, but I can also admit that I really hate that. I wish so much that not just us, right, but that people in general would stop being on their devices in front of other people. I think it's so shitty. It's like you go out of your way to make contact with another human being and to spend an amount of time with that person, and you are in front of a screen. Like if you're in front of a movie screen or a TV screen and you're watching it together, that's a shared experience. But like the idea that you will sit in a room with someone and the two of you
texting each other or sending memes
to each other, it's like you're next to each other. Fucking look at each other.
Look at the same screen.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
Or look at no screen.
So it's one of those things that, you know, I think that people have they make conscious choices to flip that switch.
Personally, I think it's the whole, you know, like once you have the unlimited options, like the ability to do anything at any given time.
Yeah.
That's when people want to do everything the least. You know, it's like once everything becomes possible, this could be attributed to so many different facets. It's like once you have unlimited possibilities, it becomes less likely that anybody will want to do any of them. Because, like, I can do that at any time. I can do that whenever, you know? I'm guilty of that. I'm sure you are, too. Come on.
I don't know if I postpone that way as much as I don't feel a sense of urgency. Like, I'm not like, you know, oh, I got to get this done right now.
And not a sense of urgency, but it's like when you have the ability to go anywhere, do anything, it's like you don't necessarily always go to that activity, that choice, that whatever it is, you know, for fear of not being able to. It's like think about back in the day when you rented a movie. You had to watch that movie within however many days before you had to return it. It's like if you never watched that movie, then what did I pay the rental fee for?
True.
Like
True.
We're so dated now. That was a thing. You go to the video store or the local grocery store or Blockbuster and you get your movie and it's like...
Even as far forward as Redbox, it was the same thing. And Netflix. Netflix was...
Used to mail out DVDs,
Netflix was kind of that because it's not that you had to get it back to them by a certain time, but you couldn't get a new one before you sent that one back.
Like, I also remember back in the day trying to watch that movie as many times as possible before returning it so you got your money's worth.
Oh, man. Did you ever get, like, series from Netflix on DVDs?
So by the time I got a Netflix... Okay, so when I was in college, I was required to get a Netflix subscription for for a class I was taking.
Wow.
Because the teacher said there are 2 movies you're going to have to write papers on. They're available on Netflix. It's like, $5.99, $6.99, whatever the thing was. Because it wasn't there was no streaming at the time. It was the mail order DVD service. So get these DVDs, watch the movies, write your paper. Here's the criteria and whatnot. So I got it. I ordered the movies, and then I didn't think about Netflix again until many, many years later when I would have a smart TV and be like, "Oh, now I know what Netflix is. It's a service that you can watch, a library of movies on at any given time." And back then, Netflix was full of stuff that I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Even stuff I'd never heard of seemed interesting at the time. But now when I scroll through Netflix, it's either stuff I've seen a million times or stuff I have absolutely zero interest in.
Most of it is like all originals now. It's all like Netflix originals. And I'm just like...
Bring back... Because they don't want to pay the money to license all the good stuff.
Yeah.
But, and that's part of the reason, bringing it back around, part of the reason why I don't really give a shit about watching TV. Like, if I'm going to watch that, I like the fact that now all the smart TVs are kind of like Pluto, where Pluto's got all the free channels that you can go up and down and watch old stuff over and all day long. But there's this live TV function that smart TVs have where you don't even need a cable box. Why pay for a cable subscription when you get a lot of your basic channels, streaming for free? I mean, I don't make a whole lot of use of that either. Because again, like if I turn on the television, if I turn on the actual screen that's meant to be, the room's viewing screen, and it's not a laptop, it's not a tablet, it's not a phone. Yeah. I'm generally looking for either entertainment or something informational.
Yeah.
Like I'm always going to YouTube to try to find some information, find some knowledge that I didn't previously.
Learn you some knowledge.
I just put on frickin' the How It's Made last night of how they make Tabasco sauce. That was interesting, We used to watch Pawn Stars. That was a family activity. I remember a couple of Christmases, we'd get home from my grandmother's and we'd immediately put on Pawn Stars, and we'd all just fall asleep in the living room on all the couches watching Pawn Stars because it was interesting. Before it became what it is now, when it was still new and fresh, it was just like, wow, this is kind of interesting. These antique coins, this antique, paintings, swords, weapons, like whatever.
Wait a second, though.
What?
Okay. You all.
Us all. Y'all.
Would watch.
These here fine United States.
In these here fine United States. You all would sit around and watch Pawn Stars because it was interesting.
Yeah.
Did you also watch the Antiques Roadshow together?
No.
You know that it's the same thing, right?
I don't know
The Antiques Roadshow is the PBS version of Pawn Stars that's been around for a lot longer. It's literally the same thing, though. But it's the PBS version of it. You should watch that at some point.
Okay.
It's got to be out there somewhere. I'm sure they still do it.
I used to like PBS.
Yeah. With viewers like you. Like you.
Like this guy.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I have thought many times, about giving up all of the subscriptions. Giving them up. All right?
I think about
and then
it all the
in the event that, come fall, reinstate Netflix for a couple of months so that I can watch Bake Off. It's like in the summertime, reinstate my HBO so that I can watch Shark Week kind of a thing. But it's like, I have a hard time pulling that trigger because
everything is separate.
Because everything is like, it's
you don't have it all under one roof.
And my brain is saying, if I get rid of one of them, what am I giving up?
See, now that's fine with me. I would just pick one and stick with it and let that be it because, I remember when the very first time I lived here alone, I had Netflix, I had Hulu, I don't know if I had Hulu. I had Netflix, I had Prime, I think I had one other one, all going at the same, for that reason, not everything was under one roof. I never had it. I was watching Hulu back when it was still free. And there was no Disney Plus at the time. Oh, probably WWE Network when that was still a thing. And then eventually I'm just like, I'm not watching enough to justify spending this much in subscription fees every month. Yeah. And budget's tight enough as it is. So fuck it. I'll just watch YouTube. I have a library full of DVDs and VHS tape. If there's something I really, really want to watch, I'll go out and buy it. That was another thing too. I was very, very resistant to streaming in the beginning because when smart TV started becoming, a common thing, because I didn't want to buy stuff unless I knew I was going to watch it more than once. Like back when I got my first apartment, I would go to Stop and Shop to do the food shopping, and then they had a $5 bin. Yeah. And I would browse through that and other places that had, similar cheap DVD bins, because it's just like, again, I'm not going to make a purchase. I'm not going to buy a movie or a TV show or a DVD series or whatever it is unless I know I'm watching this more than once. If it's something that I'm just giving a chance, I'm not even going to spend the money, because it's like, if I don't like this, why am I going to why I don't want it in my library. I don't want it in the house. Right. So most of the DVDs that, are in those binders was stuff that I knew I was going to want to watch more than once.
Yeah. And I can say the same thing for my streaming purchases. Anything that I've bought on Prime is because I want to have it at my fingertips wherever I am. The entire series of Perfect Strangers.
The dumbest thing in the world, and everyone's guilty of this now, is the fact that, for the sake of convenience, we've all started to purchase on streaming services movies that we own in hard copy, just so we don't have to dig out the DVD. We don't have to put it in the player. We don't have to flip over to the input. We don't have to fucking, make sure that it's all working. And the good thing is there's no interruptions, there's no commercials. Yeah. But we've all gotten lazy.
Again, I don't think that I do that out of laziness. It's one of those things is that if I have it on DVD and it's not free anywhere and I want to watch it, I will suck it up and I'll get up and I'll put the DVD.
We've been doing that a lot more lately.
We have. But if I purchase something that I already have on DVD, it's because I want to have it wherever I go. If I'm on the go and everything, then I have it at my fingertips.
I will say this. It was nice when we went down to South by in 2015 that I had movies to put on my phone for the ride down. Yeah. Because they brought a portable DVD player and they were playing the whole Evil Dead series. And I'm just I did not pique my interest at all. So it's just I'll be in the back with my, earbuds and...
I think about what you said about your dad and that, he worked all day. So all he wanted was dinner and to watch TV. And it's I relate to that very hard. And I feel like that's been my perspective on TV literally since we got cable when I was a kid, because it's I've been at school all day. I have 2 hours of TV that I get to watch when I get home from school. I have 2 hours of cartoons that I get to watch before we have dinner, and then the parents have control of the TV. And then homework, and then bed, and then that's it, And it's now as an adult, it's I have, it's when I was going out to work, it's the idea of going to work for 10 hours and then coming home and then going out is I'm sure that as a younger person, I didn't have a problem with that. I'd go straight from work and everything. But now it's home is so good. Home is so good, and it's just like I want either to sit in quiet and with with you or the dog or the cat or all of you or any combination thereof, and like either watch TV or watch a movie or read a book or just talk and everything. Like it's hard for me in my 40s now to be like, I have an idea, let's go somewhere. Because it's like it's not just laziness. It's that like
Your body's slowing
my
down.
body is just like, what are you doing? My body is like, what are you doing? You're sitting down. Stay seated.
Yeah, my shins and my calves and my calves mostly are killing me right now.
Yeah. And I mean, in the summertime especially. In the summertime is when everybody wants to go out and do stuff. And I'm just like, do you have any idea how hot it is outside?
But see, the other thing too is that like my parents had jobs that they were sitting down the entire time. They didn't really ever physically exert themselves, at least not in my lifetime.
Yeah, same with mine.
I mean, like I get it. My dad did a lot of commuting, and my mother worked sometimes till 11 o'clock at night, like every night of the week, because she accommodated every single one of her clients any way that she could.
Right.
And so a lot of times the nightly ritual was, dinner was either pre-prepared by her or dad was making it, and then we did homework and then caught Jeopardy. He never wanted to watch Wheel of Fortune and then immediately switched to like A&E Biography or something on the History Channel, And then in later years it was Fox News, but whatever. I'm sorry, but like there's only so much Bill O'Reilly I could take. And Sean Hannity and Combs, and when that was a thing, and it's just like, and the other thing too is that like I remember saying to him so many times, I'm just like, why do you watch this crap? Like, why do you watch these people constantly complaining about what's going on in the world and politics and this, that, and the other thing? Oh, I don't watch it that much. I've actually stopped watching it. I'm like, I see you put it on every fucking night. Come on.
In every hospital room. Every hospital room.
And take the station out of the equation. Like, forget about it whether it's Fox or CNN or MSNBC or whatever it is. All of it. It's just like, why watch this garbage? Why watch talking heads complain about the state of the world? Like, go put on fucking the History Channel. Learn something.
Exactly. I mean, that's just it. Is that these cable networks, not just news networks, but these cable networks who cater to like one specific thing, similar to Pluto in that sense, is that, you have, I mean, Pluto has the Cheaters channel, and it's just like, who in their right mind can possibly sit down and be like, you know what I want to watch for like a 4-hour block right now? Cheaters.
What is that?
Cheaters was a reality TV show in which a camera crew would follow a member of a relationship and catch them cheating on camera, and then candid camera them and be like, haha, we caught you.
That was obviously staged. Who the fuck greenlit that piece of shit?
I think it was Fox. I don't know, but like that's just it. Is you think about some of this stuff and everything, and it's just like there is only.
You do love some trash television, though.
I did not watch Cheaters, though. No.
Then how do you know about it?
Because it was a big deal.
It was. I never heard of it.
You were obviously too young for it. It was before your time. Because it went off the air because of lawsuits and stuff like that.
It probably went off the air because it wasn't a good show.
Joke's on you.
Oh God.
Yeah, it got quite a lot of views.
Yeah, by a lot of really shitty people.
Yes, and now Pluto, the esteemed Pluto, free TV all the time, has given it its own channel. And people buy airtime for commercials on that shit. That's wild to me. But like there is I feel like there is a part of everybody who grew up like you and me, who, I don't know, I think they revert back to it because to an extent it is comforting.
It's comforting, yeah, but you said yourself, the our siblings and our parents treated us certain ways, and so At least in my situation, again, like I was not always included in the family or the group activities, or that's the wrong way of saying that. I was not always included in
The decision making.
the decision making, or in things that they did individually or even collectively.
Yeah.
And so hence television becomes the babysitter. We give him his own TV, we put him in his room, and then we don't have to worry about him for a few hours, And if for nothing else, that actually built up quite a bit of resentment.
Yeah.
Sure. Like maybe if I had been included in a few more things, I wouldn't have been such a terror.
I feel like I was included in things because I insisted on being included in things. Like if I didn't, like I didn't have the say over what we watched on the TV. But I would sit there and I would watch it with everybody. So like I wouldn't complain about it. It was just like, oh, it's 7:00, we're watching Jeopardy. It's like it's 8:00, we're watching The Simpsons. Like, it's 9:00, we're watching I Love Lucy.
Like,
yay!
Mike used to periodically invite all of his friends over for the pay-per-views. Dad would buy the pay-per-view and Mike would have his friends over, and they should have chipped in.
Well, yeah.
But so anytime there was a pay-per-view, they'd come over and they'd all watch it. And they, of course, because there's a 13-year age gap between us, didn't want me hanging around. So that was always kind of a pain in the ass. And then as I got older and, started watching a different promotion, he and I used to always have to fight over which pay-per-view we were going to get to watch that month. So automatically he got the 4 then WWF pay-per-views, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, didn't matter what I wanted to watch. It's like those automatically. And then, we would have to alternate because Dad wasn't buying 2 pay-per-views a month. So.
Yeah.
But,
do you think, is there
kind
ever...
of a moot point now.
Is there ever a time, honestly, as an adult, is there ever a time where you just want to... Because I feel like I know the answer to this.
Want to what?
Want to just sit down and just watch TV.
All the time.
Do you?
No.
Why?
I just don't.
Do you feel... Do you feel like it's like beneath you or something?
No, I feel like the truth is, I feel like I've just seen it all before. It's just the same... there's nothing new or exciting about it. Like when I've complained to you about how much time we spend in front of televisions in our life together after being married, it's because I feel like there's so much more that we could be doing or should be doing that shouldn't involve a screen, that shouldn't involve zoning out and missing out on what is available to us. But I have grown accustomed to the comfort that comes with just being able to relax after a long, hard day. And it doesn't matter what we watch, and it doesn't matter how long we do it for. As soon as we're done recording, we're going to get horizontal. I'm going to put my legs up, and I'm going to ask the cat to massage them.
She doesn't make biscuits.
Not yet.
She really doesn't. She doesn't make a lot of biscuits, and she doesn't do the butt wiggle when she's getting ready to pounce on something.
Maybe we should show her Julia Child.
Teach her how to make biscuits.
This was a good talk.
This was a good talk. This was a good one. Thank you out there for tuning in and sticking it out. We had a blast. Find us on Instagram, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's, or email us, dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com with questions, comments, concerns for our well-being, conversation starters and enders, and in the event that you would like to be a part of the conversation, let us know. We are counting down officially to the Westchester Tattoo Con, which is this October 2nd through 4th at the Westchester Convention Center in White Plains, New York.
Have they announced any guests yet?
No, they haven't really announced anything yet. If I had to guess,
probably around September.
No, I would maybe like the end of July, beginning of August. We'll start hearing if there are going to be any guests. Musical guests might be there and everything. So we'll see.
I'm looking forward to my yearly meeting with Bam.
I mean, I would like to hope that he's going to be there.
We have things to discuss.
Yeah, I would like to think that they will be
important
there,
business matters.
Yeah, important
business
meetings. Yeah, no. I mean, I would think that they'll still have, maybe do some celebrity meet and greets and everything like that. I hope so.
It would be nice.
It would be nice.
But now that there's no like horror aspect to it, that's
But Bam is not a horror star, so it's like.
But he's full of tattoos. And
exactly.
That.
Exactly. I don't know what they're gonna do. Again, back in the day when it was just the tattoo convention before it became Blood and Ink, I don't remember them doing anything crazy like this. They did some live demonstrations, some live like art demonstrations and stuff like that. They did that.
We'll get to see Sam again.
We will get to see Sam again.
She's growing up before our eyes.
We're watching her grow up in real time. Oh man. Find us individually on Instagram, downtown_Andy and Just Starable. You are posting some fun stuff.
That video that I've been talking about has got like 3,400 views now.
That's
it's
fantastic.
Fucking amazing.
Congratulations. Now you got to get started on the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stay tuned for more good stuff. And don't forget to download Podbean. Give us a like and a follow because that's how we make our money, and we appreciate you. Thank you. Anything you got? Final thoughts? Adopt, don't shop? Spay and neuter your pets?
I was watching a very, very long interview with Bob Barker on the, the Archive of American Television.
Yeah.
That is something I love to find on YouTube because I don't know where else to see it. It is the Archive of American Television where they just do a sit-down interview with, like, famous people. And it's always in, like, bits and bobs on YouTube. But, I love that stuff. I love listening to people that I grew up watching talk about their lives, their careers.
Yeah.
It's Dad's influence. It's from watching A&E Biography all the time.
It must be. Oh, good stuff.
We were at the pool hall the other night, and Eddie had Turner Classic on, fucking watching Looney Tunes that I haven't seen in fucking
woo,
30, yeah.
It was good. We should do that more often. We could do that. And that's it. That's a full lid from the four of us at That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm
We'll talk to you later.
I'm going to take a nap.